Hello everybody, my name is Mark Soames. I'd like to welcome you along today to Scottish Recovery Network's Peer Chat Live at lunchtime. This is our very first live stream event, so I'm hoping everybody can see and hear me. Really happy to be joined today by Laura Stevenson. Laura is a peer volunteer at North Ayrshire Wellbeing and Recovery College. She started there 3 years ago as a student, and now she's become a peer volunteer there. Welcome, Laura. How are you doing today?
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me.
Very welcome. Thanks for coming along. So the purpose of today is really to better understand peer support and what that looks like across Scotland. We're really interested in speaking to people right at the heart of peer support and get a better understanding really of how it's developed, who's benefiting from it, and what can we do further to promote peer support. We would love to hear your questions throughout the event, and we'll take some time at the end for Laura to answer some of those questions. So please use your social media channels to fire the questions into us. Subtitles will be available on the Facebook account, so please be aware of that. So, Laura, thanks again for coming in. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience over the last 3 years and what that's led to?
Yeah, well, I started the recovery college about 3.5 years ago now. My mental health had deteriorated. It's always been a bit funny, but by this point it had deteriorated quite a bit. And I was signposted, excuse me, by a family care worker. I was struggling at home. I wasn't present for my kids. I was there every day, but not in my head. They were suffering, I was suffering. I was 7 stone or something like that, found it hard to eat, didn't look healthy. So family care worker signposted me to the college, and what I thought was just a creative class that I was going to. And I've always been creative. I have a HND in architectural and decorative glasswork, where I graduated in 2006, a long time ago. That's when my mental health started taking a dip. And also I had my family, so I was couldn't do anything much with it. So this wee creative class just inspired me, revitalised something inside, and I loved it. And I knew I was going to be going back next week. And from there, I was invited to go to some track 1 courses, like exploring recovery and things, and didn't really know what to expect. Didn't know if it was for me. But once I got there, it was a very welcoming atmosphere. Felt included straight away. There's someone there to greet you by name. You're not just going into a room and finding somewhere to sit, which I would have did. I didn't get the chance. I was introduced and sat down. And I left these sessions feeling a wee buzz every week. I was more of an observer though. I didn't share. I sat and I listened and I learned from everybody else. And it was Jeanette that noticed if I was prompted, that's when I would start taking part. So I knew if I made eye contact with Jeanette in a session that I was going to be asked a question. But from there, that increased my confidence. And I think Jeanette seen that in me. I just needed prompted. And it's the same for all the tutors. They see things in people and they start to try and draw it out of them. It's a very gentle approach. It's subtle learning as well. Maybe you don't realise what you've picked up on, but throughout the week you go, oh, I learned that from that session. And from there it was track 2, where you would go into sessions like trauma to recovery, which were really informal. Information-wise, what's the light bulb moments for that? Again, it was very gentle. No one talks about their trauma, things like that. We talk about progressing forward and ways to do that. And it was a big eye-opener for me, that one. And from there, track 3, and then that's when you delve a little bit deeper. You start learning more about yourself, you learn about boundaries. There's always more to learn. You think maybe you know things and you're all right, but there's always more to learn. And from there, the peer pathway, and that was even deeper again, where you learn your values, your strengths, you learn how to facilitate, and that's where I learned how to hold space for other students and learn alongside them as well as I'm learning. And from there, it's just going from strength to strength, because I've now facilitated my own Touch of Glass class, and I put all my learning into practice. And it is a practice. I'm still learning. The more I practice, the easier it becomes, but there's something always new to learn.
A touch of glass, I love that name. Is that something you invented yourself, or?
Yeah, years ago when I wanted to start my own business, that someone's already got that somewhere, so I just used it for my class.
Yeah. I'm now going to introduce a short clip from a film that we did in collaboration with North Ayrshire Wellbeing and Recovery College. It's a very brief snippet. It lasts for around 90 seconds, so hopefully everybody enjoys this clip.
So RAMH Wellbeing and Recovery College is funded by the Health and Social Care Partnership for North Ayrshire, and we're in our 4th year, but it's all about self-management. It's enabling people with mental health challenges, sometimes addiction challenges, to discover skills and strategies and ways of being that improves their well-being and mental health. It's for anybody 16 plus that lives, works or studies in North Ayrshire, and for anybody that wants to improve their well-being is welcome.
Sometimes if you're in a home environment and it's not the greatest, it's hard to pick yourself up, but having the college and the positivity that surrounds it, it's just changed me. It's gave me somewhere to go and be my actual true self. It's been life-changing. It's the people that make it as well, the staff, the tutors, the peers and the students. Everybody's there for each other.
I was referred by the mental health services, the NHS, and I came in not knowing what to expect at all. Within a few months, I think I kind of thought, oh, I found my home. I found a place where people kind of understand what's happening. And I was asked to come along as a peer volunteer, and I jumped at the chance. It's been a great journey, and the highlight of this is coming into a room and seeing people who are just coming in for the first time, and just seeing that moment where they go, oh my God, it's not just me, and the pressure kind of lifts off them. I'm really, really proud to be a part of it.
So Laura, what difference does it make to have a peer-led approach to learning as opposed to other types of learning? And I'm really trying to get to understand what's the difference it's had or the impact it's had on you and the people around you.
Well, peer-led learning, it gives an opportunity to work with people from all walks of life that you maybe not be able to connect with in many other ways. That in turn gives an understanding about more other people's journeys, teaches people to be less judgmental. The peers are what made it for me, watching them grow in front of my eyes and watching them go from being quiet to facilitating their own classes. That amazed me. I thought, look at the change in that person, it's amazing. And just watching them and the peer support, we're all very good friends, the peers. We have our own group, we socialise together. Only last night I was messaging them. I can just imagine them all here with me right now on the couch, and they just sent lots of messages of support and encouragement, and that's what we do throughout everything. We celebrate each other's successes, and I'm really privileged to be working alongside people like that every day. As I said in the clip, when you're in about that every day, it has an impact on you. There's no hierarchy. That's made clear from the beginning. We're all learning equals. There's nobody above, there's nobody below, and we all learn from each other, and knowing that other people are having their struggles and seeing what they've done on their journeys, you're less alone. It's, as we say, it's a whole tribe.
We'll have to get a bigger couch next time so they can all
bring them all.
come and sit here. And I guess the main differences between that and a kind of normal classroom learning environment, what would you say they are?
Well, it's more like a gathering of friends rather than a classroom environment. A gathering of friends doing lots of fun activities while we're learning at the same time. It's not like going into a classroom and you're sitting and you're one person up and giving orders and things like that. It's all structured. As I said, it's a very gentle approach. It's not subtle, it's not in your face or anything like that.
And you've spoken a little bit about the impact for you in terms of learning, but what about outside of the college and outside of learning?
So outside the college, I've connected with other groups. I've just done a On My Life programme, which was amazing. The women there have all gelled very well and all keeping together as well. I've been given commissions to do stained glass things as well. The people that you meet out with the college as well, it's all beneficial. Everybody is all beneficial for each other, and you learn off of everybody. And I'm privileged again to be working alongside and learning from people from all walks of life.
So you've obviously come an awful long way in the last 3 years. I guess my next question really is what's next for you?
Well, so I've applied for a paid position at the college now as a peer champion. My interview for that's next week. I have an exhibition next spring at the Harbour Arts Centre in Irvine alongside another artist, a photographer, another glass artist. I'm really looking forward to that. And as I said, I've been given commissions for other things as well. My new challenge is trying to live this new life that I've created, and I've been helped, supported, and it's the balance is between family and work. I'm still learning that one, but that's what life is. It's new challenges, and this is positive challenges. So
you've got an interview next week.
yes,
You've got an exhibition next year.
Yep.
In the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we'll be able to publicise that for you. That all sounds amazing. So congratulations on that, and best of luck for the interview. I know we've got a few questions that have come in, so we're going to move over to some of those now. One of the questions was around how your recovery shows up in your creativity. You obviously demonstrate you're a really creative person. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, so when I done my Touch of Glass class, I used the theme of self-reflection and made mirrors. And I'd also done a piece, and it was a butterfly on a branch and a cocoon with some mirror on it, and there's a butterfly emerging from another cocoon. And I called that transformation. Reflection equals transformation. So the butterfly's been in a dark place and then it's transformed and came out. It's just one wing emerging. Another glass piece I've done is a candle holder, and I called that When Come Off to a Flame, because that represents me sometimes. Just keep doing the same patterns over and over, and that's got 2 moths on it. It doesn't sound very nice, but it looks nice once you see it. And everything I make, I try to have a reflection of my journey, and I've got a lot more ideas, a lot more things that I still to put into practice.
Fantastic. So we've got another question from Ruth, who's really interested to find out what kind of learning the peers are facilitating themselves.
So the learning that the peers are facilitating is to hold space. They're learning how to hold space and make it a safe environment for other students while learning ourselves. And in that we have to learn time management, structure. The peers have all learnt this, and we're all teaching the peers below us and the students coming in. The learning is out of this world, actually. It's the people who have been teaching us are very professional and amazing people, very nice.
So as well as the arts and creativity, are there other sort of subject areas that the peers are involved with?
Yeah, so they do the drumming.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that in action.
Yeah, they go to Whiston House, it is, and they learn how to do drum circle facilitations. Also, the songwriting, they do that as well. There's the creative recovery, we do that, the trauma to recovery, exploring recovery. All the peers are trained to help out in these, co-facilitate with a professional, and then the peers are the lived experienced professional in their own journeys, and we do that together.
And the songwriting, I imagine that's a popular one as well, is it?
Yeah, well, everyone that went along to that actually got up and sang their own song on stage.
Wow.
Yeah, people that couldn't even talk much got up and sang their own songs on stage.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could do that.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, and We'll talk a little bit about sort of the next steps and potentially going for this interview for a peer champion role. If you are successful in that, what will that look like?
Well, pretty much already what I've been doing. Helping co-facilitate, I'll probably be in the office and doing phone calls, encouraging students and helping them with their timetables, things like that. So it'll pretty much be what I'm already doing, plus a little bit more behind the scenes work as well.
And is there any elements to that particular role that you feel you might find challenging at all? Or?
Well, we'll soon see. I don't think so, because I've been doing it for a while now, but as I say, there's always more to learn. There's always more to learn, and there will be challenges. I just don't know what they are yet.
Got some more questions coming in as well. How do you encourage new learners coming into the college? Obviously, that first step, thinking back to the one that you made some time ago.
I just tell them what I was like, show them, give them my experience of the college and how I felt before I joined, explain how serious my mental health was, and if I can come through it, a lot of people can come through it. Everyone has strengths, we just need to find them.
And do you find that resonates with people that are thinking about joining the college?
Oh yeah, because it's the same for me, watching other people blooming and growing, and you see it happening in front of you, there's an inspiration that happens inside.
And can you remember that first interaction you had with the college at that time? That first point of contact, that first conversation you had to get you through the doors, maybe?
Yes, I was quite emotional actually, just in my application, just to get into the creative class. I was quite emotional in that application. Thinking back now, it was like, oh, it feels like only yesterday. This has all just happened. But yeah, I'm completely different from when I was back then, and I can see how new students, when they come in and they can feel the way I used to feel, it is very daunting and things, but I would just tell them, just go for it, because eventually I've not seen anyone struggle. Everybody that's came through has done well. I've not seen anybody fall away or struggle. Everybody's doing amazing.
And you mentioned a couple of light bulb moments during the conversation earlier. Was there any sort of element of the course or any training that was the kind of trigger point for you, maybe, that you thought this is it, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, the facilitation, that was very good. It was very deep. We delved into finding our own strengths and then learned how to develop on these strengths, learning how to receive and give feedback, things like that. It's a very personal journey, that one, and it really helped me not just manage in facilitation, but manage some life skills as well.
So is it fair to say you recognise the strengths in yourself now?
Yes, I try and use them.
Do you want to tell me what they are?
Well, one's adaptability, and I think I'm pretty good at that. And recovery college style, things are changing all the time, so you have to adapt. Another one's empathy, which I think is important if you're working with people and trying to help them. I'm trying to think of what other strengths might come on the spot. Empathy, connectedness, so apparently I connect well with people, which at the beginning I didn't talk at all, now I kind of shut up. I'm always talking. And the other two were family and authenticity.
Fantastic.
The 5 streams.
We've got a comment from Lucy, who just wanted to say it's fantastic the metaphors you've got about recovery in your artwork, and it really kind of strikes an important note, I think, for people.
Mm-hmm.
How you can translate your recovery in terms of your artwork.
Mm-hmm.
You're also a good listener.
I wonder who put that. Well, yes, actually I am now, because we did do a course in listening and empathy, and listening is actually a very powerful thing to do. Sometimes that's all someone needs, just for you to zip it and listen to them, and then after it you'll just feel a bit lighter. Not give them any advice, nothing. You just need to listen. So
that might be one of our catchphrases from Stay Zip It and Listen. That's a really good one. We've just got another question coming in now. Just bear with me. Well, it's more a comment. Someone saying that you're an inspiration. And having met you before at the celebration event for North Ayrshire Wellbeing and Recovery College, I can absolutely testify to that.
Thank you.
So Heather wanted to say that you're an inspiration. And I think if there's anything that we take from today, it's that recovery is possible. You've come an awful long way, and I think people recognise that. And yeah, it's been amazing to listen to you. There is a longer version of the film that we showed earlier, so that will be released on the 21st of September. So please check in with our website and the newsletter for more details about that. We do have our Peer Connects event on the 21st of September. I think all the tickets have gone for that now, but we do have another event in November. So please keep on board with our website and we'll keep you up to date with that. Really like to thank you, Laura, for your time today. You've been absolutely amazing, and you have been an inspiration. I think that's really important, and wish you the best of luck for the interview next week. Please let us know how it goes, because I think you nailed on for it, but I think from the distance you've come so far to where you are now, I think that is a real testament to the character of you. We'd like to thank everybody as well that have joined us today. I'd also really like to thank the technical team from Scottish Recovery Network. So we've got Christine, Caroline and Jan with us today. They're doing all the difficult stuff, which is the IT. And we'd also like to give best wishes to Holly Hendry from the team as well, who came up with this idea in the first place and should really be sat here interviewing Laura. But unfortunately, she's not with us at the moment, so she's going to be back hopefully next week, or we'll certainly see her soon anyway. Please get in touch via our website. If there's any further questions that have come up that we've not been able to answer, we will look to answer those in our next newsletter. So thanks for today, and goodbye for now.